Hello, everyone, and happy Wednesday. I don't know what week in the summer it is, but it feels so nice and warm, and nothing like a nice Wednesday afternoon to wrap up your day to learn about nutrition topics. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Ale Zozos. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist, and I am with EatLove. And EatLove is partnered with UFit to bring you nutrition education, to bring you nutrition technology. And if you have not heard of EatLove, you absolutely will by the end of today. I just want to kick things off with a poll getting started and just understand what type of membership at UFit you guys have, because I know everyone has been invited to this. So I just want to get a better sense as to who is watching, what type of membership you have, because as you will learn throughout our presentation today, EatLove is a benefit of Premium Plus members. So anyone listening today that has a Premium Plus membership, I see a couple of you are already, you have EatLove access already. So that's the best part. We're going to do a short demo on it. But before we get into the good stuff, we are going to learn about anti-inflammatory foods. My favorite topic, one of my favorite topics. I love color. I love eating in color. I just had a really delicious lunch and I was like, how many colors can I stuff into this? Basically, our fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, not very colorful, but definitely have a lot of anti-inflammatory benefits to it and very reduce inflammation. So we're going to talk about what inflammation is, how does it get started, how can we work to prevent it, and then all of the foods that you want to incorporate, which is by all no means an all-inclusive list. The ones that I included were just ones that came to me like as I was creating the presentation, but there are plenty more whole grains. I don't even know if I have whole grains on here, anti-inflammatory food. And then we're going to talk about what that looks like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I have a couple of days worth of eating to show you. And spoiler alert, all of these recipes are on EatLove. So if you were like, wow, that smoothie looks incredible, those ricotta waffles. If that is speaking your language, you guys can join EatLove by upgrading your membership to Premium Plus, and you have access. I believe it's $10 more than the premium membership. And if you guys are interested in learning more about that, I would talk to your front desk at your home gym. But without further ado, let's get rocking and rolling. Let's see. Hi, Dirk. Hi, Lizeth. Vince, Yasika, Yova. Amazing. How are you all today? I have our other very talented dietitian, Kayla, is on chat. So if you have any questions, nutrition related questions, really anything, Kayla will be your go-to gal to answer those questions as I'm going through, and I will answer as many questions as I can at the end as well. So let's dive in. We have a huge crowd today, so I appreciate you all taking some time to learn about anti-inflammatory foods. Just as an open-ended question, hey Nellie, hey Douglas, what inspired you guys to join today? What was the message in the notification, the email blast that went out that really brought you in to listen? And you can share as much information or as little, but I'm just curious because this is one of my favorite topics and we have a huge crowd today. So I'm always curious as to what is buzzy these days, what's really exciting you guys to learn more about nutrition. So top anti-inflammatory foods to add to your diet. And you will notice that I will use the word add a lot today because that is where our goals differ. That is where we will see change, is when we add things to our diet versus restricting them. Absolutely. So contents, we have learned a little bit about each other. Also, I am based in Austin. I think most of you are in Florida. I've seen a couple of Texans in here as well. Amazing. And then our Facebook group, which we do have, and we can continue the conversation over there. That is free to anyone to join. And I will share the QR code live on this presentation as we get there. All right. So let's talk about classic signs of inflammation. Actually, I want to do this one first, and I will go back to that. So causes of chronic inflammation, medically related. We have medically related causes, and then we also have lifestyle related causes that can cause medical causes of inflammation. So high BMI, stress on the joints, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, autoimmune conditions, and cancers all create chronic inflammation in our bodies. The classic signs, which we'll get to in a minute, but all of these, and this isn't even a list of all the conditions that can cause inflammation in the body. I know some of you are putting in the chat, some of them would be categorized as autoimmune conditions. Absolutely. Autoimmune conditions are so tricky. They take years and years and years, possibly even decades to diagnose. And basically, our body attacks its good cells. And it's very difficult. And a lot of pain and joints and rashes can come from that. So, medically speaking, our diets, what we choose to live, our lifestyle in general is going to pave the way to reducing those signs of inflammation, those symptoms of inflammation as well, and leading just a generally overall healthier lifestyle. Let's look at the lifestyle factors of inflammation. This is the only time I'm going to show you a picture of food and say, we want a little bit more better diet quality. There's nothing wrong with sodas and French fries and pizzas when everything is consumed in moderation. But if your diet looks more like this than the foods that I will be showing you today, absolutely, this could cause a chronic inflammation, and it's a lifestyle cause. Low exercise, not getting enough exercise, but also on the flip side, consistent high stress exercise can also cause inflammation. If you're doing high intensity exercises 7 days a week, not giving your body a chance to rest, and you're fighting fatigue, you're fighting injury, that's not going to be great on the body overall. That can create low-grade inflammation within the body as well. And then, of course, smoking and drinking. So all of these lifestyle focuses can create inflammation. So let's go back and look at those classic signs. We have fatigue, we have joint pain, we have rashes, abdominal and chest pain. And like I said, these can be a mix of lifestyle. These could also be a mix of conditions, especially when we're looking at things like autoimmune conditions. Absolutely. But we have a lot more control than we think we do, especially with just our baseline intervention on a daily basis, which is how we fuel our bodies. Yes, Jelena, there will be a recording. You should get that promptly after. If not, it will be uploaded to the UFit YouTube channel as well, which is usually done within a couple days. Awesome. So let's keep on going. So what are antioxidants and why are they beneficial? So antioxidants are substances that protect our cells against the free radicals that play a role in heart disease, cancer, other diseases. Basically, it builds up an army around those free radicals, reducing them from spreading. So our diet plays a huge role in that. And I hope none of you are hungry. I think you probably, it's 3:00 Eastern time, so maybe you've had lunch already or even an early snack before dinner. But we're going to go through a lot of really delicious looking pages coming up of what these foods look like. And spoiler alert, it's going to be lots of color. If you guys have come to my webinars in the past, I talk about eating in color, probably like it's my first name, only because that is, at the end of the day, as a dietitian, that's my take home message, is eat in color, get more fruits and vegetables into your diet, and get more plants in general. So plants are going to come from fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, beans, legumes, whole grains, basically eating a Mediterranean lifestyle, a framework, not a diet, a framework of foods that we can incorporate. And we can do that in any way, shape, or form. So let's look at a couple of them and what those antioxidants are present. I can't even pronounce half of these, but we have, first and foremost, we have extra virgin olive oil. Huge anti-inflammatory food. It has oleocanthal, which is a polyphenol that helps reduce inflammation. It helps boost brain activity. Lots of wonderful things in there. Turmeric, one of my favorites. I'm actually, after we wrap up today, I'm going to be making a bone broth little beverage concoction with turmeric and pepper, and it's going to be a nice savory afternoon snack that has a good bit of protein in it, but it's also really anti-inflammatory. Instead of reaching for a second cup of coffee that probably has a little bit of added sugar in it that's from the lobby downstairs. But curcumin is going to be that agent in the turmeric. Mushrooms, fatty fish has EPA and DHA. So if any of you guys are watching that take supplements for omega-3s, I encourage all of you, while I have a huge audience right now, to take a peek at your supplement. If you do take omega-3s, make sure that the majority that's in that container, 75% or more, is EPA and DHA. ALA is fine. It's the plant form. It's the most readily formed in our diets. But for the anti-inflammatory benefits, we want the EPA and DHA. That's what's coming from fatty fish, even fish food like algae. And that's what's going to be the most anti-inflammatory boosting agent of those. Our ALA conversion to EPA and DHA is very poor. The conversion rate is very low, and we can get ALA a lot in our diets. Fatty fish is usually that missing agent. And if you're not a fish person, I do have a dish for you that I've included in this PowerPoint because I wasn't a fish person for a very long time, embarrassingly, to say that it was probably consistent up until this year that I've consistently had it in my diet. It's a texture thing, but there are ways to work around that. If you want to get more fatty fish into your diet, highly recommend crunchy salmon cakes. Avocados have carotenoids and tocopherols, vitamin A and E. These are the precursors of vitamin A and E, so really good for skin and eye health. Peppers have quercetin, broccoli, sulforaphane. I don't know if I said that correctly. Tomatoes have lycopene. Berries, deep and rich color, anthocyanins. Green tea, I just abbreviate this as E3G. That's what I call it. Grapes also have anthocyanins. Dark chocolate has flavonols. All of these long, wordy components are antioxidants, and these are our disease-fighting agents. Mike, do I have a recommendation for a supplement brand, EPA and DHA? So I personally love, I think cost-wise and quality-wise, I love Nordic Naturals. I think they do a really great job. Like when I say 75% or more EPA and DHA, you want to make sure that when you flip over the back of the label that you don't see the word other omega-3s, other omega-6s may even be in there. You want to make sure that it is broken out into EPA and DHA. And if you have 1,200 or 1,000 milligrams, 75% or more to be coming from EPA and DHA. I recommend Nordic Naturals most of the time. I think they do a really good job. All right, so let's look at fun foods and what incorporating these foods could look on a day-to-day basis. And I purposely picked really fun looking pictures, and most of these recipes are not very involved, I promise. Our recipes, our photographs are absolutely beautiful, but our recipes are very simple at the same time. And I wanted to show a really diverse palette to show you how fun you can make these foods, because you don't have to eat raw broccoli or raw peppers or fatty fish with absolutely no pizzazz to it, like filleted salt and pepper. Sometimes that could be the best option. You may really enjoy it. For others, you want to disguise the fishy flavor. You want to try something a little bit more delicious, and you want to ease your way into it. So a lot of these dishes have a little bit of pizzazz to them. All right, so day one for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we have these are turmeric tacos, turmeric egg tacos. They have avocados, they have turmeric, which are going to be super anti-inflammatory. And I'm guessing that top is either a salsa base or a tomato paste, which also we know is lycopene. So huge anti-inflammatory breakfast just from that meal one. Lunch, we have one of my favorite ways to get vitamin D is mushrooms, another food. It could be a texture thing. If you are learning to navigate textures, mushrooms are one of those foods that kind of fall into that category. Chopping them up really, really thin and fine could really help with that. This is over top of a polenta dish. So polenta and mushrooms, and it looks delicious. It doesn't have a ton of ingredients in it. Absolutely wonderful. And we have our mushrooms. Not going to even attempt that pronunciation. And then for dinner, I love this one because it's super basic and it's going to be super family friendly. Chicken nuggets crusted with, looks like cornflakes actually, if I'm looking at that. And then broccoli. So we have our protein, we have our carb, the breading of the protein, and then we have our broccoli. Super basic and fun, and ways to get color. Every single one of these dishes is not beige. There's beige components, absolutely, but the majority, like the color is popping, and that's what we're looking for. The next one, day two, we have a couple of other things. We have breakfast, we have these whole grain berry ricotta waffles, which are absolutely delicious. You can buy whole grain waffles that are frozen in the freezer. You do not have to make waffles from scratch in a waffle maker. I don't know what brand have them at the moment, but you can definitely buy them frozen. You pop them in the toaster oven. They're good to go. You can take frozen berries, pop them in a stovetop, put a little bit of water, lemon juice in it, maybe a tad bit of honey, sweeten it up, and you can put a nice berry compote on top of that. We know that berries have those anthocyanins, those deep, rich colors. And then on top of that, there's even walnuts on this one. So that's another way to get anti-inflammatory agents. Lunch is a pepper linguine. So lots of peppers in there, the quercetin. You can use whatever pasta you want. If you want to add more protein, use a bean-based pasta. If you want to add another way to get protein would be a whole grain pasta. If you want to use your white pasta, that's fine too, as long as you are getting a good, diverse, balanced diet. Anti-inflammatories are going to come from whole grains, beans, and legumes as well. So that's another way to get them into your day. And then here is the dinner that I was talking about, salmon cakes. I absolutely love salmon cakes. They're a little bit involved, but if you have an hour or so and you have salmon and you're trying to get the family involved in getting fatty fish, because if they're not eating fatty fish, you're not eating fatty fish. If that's the setup at home, I highly encourage trying salmon cakes where you cook it on the stovetop for a little bit, almost all the way through. You let it cool, you pull it apart so it's all shredded, and then you mix with like an egg and some Dijon mustard and a little bit of breadcrumb and some seasonings, whatever you want to season it up and pizzazz it as. Put it in the fridge for like 15, 20 minutes so it gets a little bit thicker and you can form a patty. Put it back on the stovetop, cook it in extra virgin olive oil. That oleocantho, that polyphenol content is going to be really great for reducing inflammation. And one of my favorite ways of serving it with lemon here. And then we have snacks. We can't forget snacks. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but looking at snacks too, we have a green tea smoothie. And like I said, all of these recipes are on EatLove. So if you are loving the way these pictures look, you'll be able to check it out, especially everyone that does have that Premium Plus membership already. Pistachio mousse. This is going to give you the cocoa. This is going to give you the flavanols. Frozen grapes. Easy one. You pop it in the fridge. Tastes like a Jolly Rancher. Absolutely delicious and tasty. And you're going to get more anthocyanins from that. Basic hummus and Evo. So this is going to have beans, also anti-inflammatory, extra virgin olive oil, and there's also basil in here. So herbs and spices are anti-inflammatory. Avocado smoothie. This one's banana, avocado. I think there's also kiwi in this one. I actually made this last week. Very tasty, very nutrient dense, and lots of really great things. So I'm going to run another poll here and just ask, well, you did now. So pretend like we just started this presentation, you had never heard of EatLove, use that as your answer for this question. And while you guys are doing that, multitasking now, I'm gonna have you scan the QR code right here on the page. Just take your phone, open up the camera, scan it, and then that will take you to our Facebook group. I expect another 15 requests to come in today. We had, yep, I see them coming in. You guys are amazing. So we continue the conversation over here. If you have any questions, EatLove related, not EatLove related, doesn't really matter. It's just a community, looking to improve your overall nutrition. And then every other Friday, I go in and answer live Q&A. So if you guys have any direct questions that you want answered, pop them in there at any time during the week, and I will gather them all and answer them all on Friday afternoons around, I think it's 1 Eastern time. But without further ado, we have a little bit of time to review EatLove, and we will reserve some time for questions as well. And so EatLove is a personalized nutrition technology for making both meals at home and dining out. You can see on the left-hand side here, we look very much like Spotify, different color gray and no green, but we have a nice raspberry color that you can do pretty much everything that you need to do that you would do with a playlist with EatLove. So you can favorite a meal, you can heart it, you can skip it, you can batch cook it, you can repeat it, all of those things. You can log your food. You can search our very robust recipe database of just about 7,000 dietitian approved recipes. When you sign up, you complete onboarding and you select a goal. Every goal that we have on there, whether it's a lifestyle goal or a nutrition medically grade goal, so either like general healthy diet all the way to diabetes, we have that as well. Science-based, truly intelligent nutrition technology. And you're never going to get food that you're not going to understand or never heard of before. It's very basic foods, just like we talked about today. Like, these dishes look involved. I promise you they are not. They're very beautiful, and they use very few ingredients to make these gorgeous looking anti-inflammatory dishes. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And if anyone has any questions related to anything nutrition, EatLove, feel free to pop those in the chat. and share my screen, and we'll go through a couple of the main features that I love, because at the end of the day, we are looking for a system. We want you to have a system in place, and meal planning is one of those systems. Forget about meal plans. Forget about meal plans in general, and think about, what does your system look like when you go grocery shopping? Do you have a list? Do you not have a list? Does the family get involved? Are you on your own? Do you feel like you're fighting everyone in the family, or you never know what to cook for yourself because either you have too many allergies, a health condition you're managing, everything? So think of those. Think of the answers to those questions. They're rhetorical, but just think about them. Sit on them and reflect for a little bit, and just figure out what that system looks like for you. Because we answer the question, what's for dinner, and for pretty much every meal for the rest of your life, because that's the question that we're always going to have to answer. We never have, a direct, and, unless we plan our meals, do we know what we're having tomorrow, the day after, and the day after that? But if we're managing a health condition, if we want our family to eat more vegetables, if you want to get more fatty fish in your diet, but, still trying to introduce it to the rest of the family, you need a way to do that. You need a way to plan for it. So we do have an app, and that is inside the UFit app as well. All you do is load the app, and you will see EatLove there as well. But we also have a desktop login, which I personally love for expanded views and planning the whole week in advance. And this is what I mean by that. I can see everything. And I'm missing breakfast up here because I don't have breakfast turned on for meal inspiration. You can change the meals that you want to get through your profile, your meal preferences at any point in time. So let's say I actually do want breakfast and I want to try to get just everything. If I go over here, I'm going to change my meals. And I can see I have a fresh new batch starting on my first full empty day for tomorrow. And I have just a couple of breakfasts. I have 3 breakfasts. I have a couple different snacks, but you can really customize this to exactly what you want. If you just want to worry about one snack next week, you could absolutely clear these and say that you want to repeat this blackberries and mixed nut dish for a snack for the next 4 days. Because you really only need a couple things on hand each week. I plan 4 dishes, 4 to 5 dishes a week. And that's it. It's like 1 breakfast, 1 lunch, 1 snack, and 2 to 3 dinners. Super basic. I'm using these recipes as a framework. So if I click on my salmon down here, and I don't have edamame per se, but maybe I have a spinach, I'm not going to go out of my way to buy more produce when I already have something in the fridge that I could use for this recipe. So things like that. If it's a 1-for-1 swap, it's going to be consistent. But you may be asking, how does a system know that these are the foods that I want and that they fit in my plan? So to do that, you're going to check out your nutrition prescription that you've selected when you onboarded. So if I have a Mediterranean diet set up right now, which is perfect for anti-inflammatory. So anyone watching that has a Premium Plus membership and wants an anti-inflammatory diet, I recommend going Mediterranean. You will probably see fish at least once a week, and you'll see no shortage of 3 servings of vegetables, 2 servings of fruit, 2 servings of whole grains per day. And we're going to be tracking those omega-3s. We're not going to be giving a recommendation on them in terms of food, because if that was the case, you would get salmon a lot. So we're just tracking them to make you more aware of where your EPA and DHA omega-3s are coming from in your diet. And of course, no less than 25 grams of fiber. But all of these are focused on minimums minus added sugar, which will never be a problem on a Mediterranean way of eating, as will saturated fat, as will sodium. So we're looking at those minimums. Again, what can you add to your diet remains the theme. How can I get more whole grains? How can I get more fiber? How can I get more fruits and vegetables? So to check that, if I click up here, I can see that all of these numbers are going to be consistent with the prescription because it fits a perfect mold. If you would like to swap this, maybe you don't want the salmon tonight, you can hit swap. And if you select Smart Choices, everything in the Smart Choice is going to fit your nutrition requirements. So I could select load more, and I could load more 4 days. There's going to be thousands of different options that you could choose instead. And maybe you want to do this chicken quinoa instead, and you now have a blank day, so let's batch cook that for an extra day. You can add your family members if you need to. And then when you're ready and you've set your profile up for the week, you've planned it out, you can add them to your grocery cart. And this is what I mean by the systems coming into play. We'll go to the grocery cart. We'll see that our list has been populated. I can check off things that I already have. So I'm going to go immediately to spices and condiments, probably check everything off there. Usually don't need to buy these on a weekly basis. I can see why I need recipes. I can change the quantities of them if I need to. I don't actually have to use EatLove recipes at all. I can just create a grocery list. Right in here, change the quantities. And then when I'm ready, I can print the list. I can email it to someone in the family. I can buy online through one of our third-party integrations right here. So we have Walmart, Amazon Fresh, and Instacart. Instacart has the following 6 right here. So you can check this out, put your zip code in, see if it delivers. Do believe we have over 94% of US zip codes, which is really great. And it makes it easy, saves you 90 minutes a week, of going to the grocery store. So if you don't like going to the grocery store, you don't have to anymore. That's the best thing. I've ordered my groceries online for the past 7 years because I lived in New York for the majority of those past 7 years. I did not have a car, made it very difficult to carry groceries home, even though it was only 1 long block and 3 short blocks, but that's a long way to carry groceries like this. So I got used to ordering online, and it's, my Saturday ritual involves logging into EatLove, adding my 5 dishes that I plan to make for the week, looking at my grocery list, going through my kitchen, doing an inventory so I'm not over purchasing anything. Then I'm shipping it off and letting the groceries do the rest of the work. And then in a few hours, the groceries are at my door, and I could spend more time in the kitchen prepping and actually batch cooking what I need to prepare for the week so I get all of those meals that I slotted out to make. It's the execution of it that makes it the change that we're looking for. You can change anything in your meal preference, who's eating what when. You can add your family members. You can change your food avoidances. We have thousands of food avoidances. All you have to do is click add more and type them in. Cooking and shopping, you can preference kitchen equipment, how often you want to grocery shop, do you care about organic, leftovers, cooking skill, all that good stuff. Another really great feature of this is the recipe search, where we have just about 7,000 approved recipes. You can edit anything if you would rather have a different type of vegetable in here, a different topping, whatever you want to do with it, you can do it. And then from there, our daily log section is pre-logged. So if I have something scheduled in the schedule, it'll actually just say if I ate this, and I could say, yep, sure thing, sure did, ate everything. And then I can get my totals for the day. I can add notes, I can add my water, I can reflect on this, and then I can also export it and have this really great PDF or Excel view of my nutrition. And I can see everything that would be on a nutrition label to make sure I'm hitting the targets of macros and micros that I need to. So it's always going to be your guide there. But I'm going to come back into our chat here and see. We have a couple of questions. I think Kayla got some of these. Yep. The why. Douglas, focusing on the why. Whenever you're teetering on motivation and it's hard to stay on track or hard to just show up and be there for yourself, asking yourself why you started to begin with is a really great motivator. Hi, Martin. So, yep, you will be, premium membership, email support at eatlove.is. Perfect. That's how you would access it. If you're not a member, it was, so to join YouFit EatLove, you would need to sign up through your gym, not our website. I want to make that clear. You would need to sign up through YouFit to get access to everything that the app has to offer. So if you are interested in joining up, anyone that is listening today, talk to your front desk and you can get started that way. Sandra, frozen vegetables, frozen fruits, okay, absolutely. My entire fridge, Kayla, absolutely. My entire fridge is stocked with frozen produce. It's cheap. It lasts a heck of a lot longer. It's probably even fresher by the time I use the frozen than if I were to buy a fresh batch of blackberries or raspberries. Don't get me wrong, I love them in the summer, but fresh raspberries have no business being $6 a pint. No business being $6 a pint. I can buy a 3-pound bag and it's $10. That's frozen. So I buy frozen berries. That is a staple in my diet. Yep, and it will absolutely decrease the bill, and you will not be throwing out frozen berries. I don't think I've ever thrown out any frozen fruits or vegetables. Because they're frozen. They can last months, months and months and months in the fridge. And when all else fails, put them in a smoothie, put them in a soup, not fruits, but the vegetables. Celeste, great question. Congrats on your success so far. Yep. So, like I mentioned with the systems and looking at your continuation of your goals. So, what do you have now? Do you feel like there's any sticking points? How are you getting your recipes? What are you planning for? Are you on a plateau? All rhetorical questions. Don't feel free like you have to put in the chat box. But that system in place, how can you make your life easier? Basically, put it on autopilot. Like I said, my ritual every Saturday is to pull out my app. I'm looking at recipes. I am scheduling things into my planner. I create my list. I go to my kitchen. I do a little navigation. If I can use anything, like I said, if I'm not going to buy edamame, if I have spinach left over from the week before, it's a vegetable. Vegetable is a vegetable. It's still going to give me antioxidants one way or another. And then creating that seamless process for you. And also just to continue doing what you're doing, unless of course you are on a plateau that you need a little bit more boost, or you need to really magnify your day to day. If you're like, I don't know why this is happening right now. You could be under getting a nutrient in certain things. You could be over consuming something else. The nutrition analysis report and the daily log is a really great tool to use for that, in case you're like, how much fiber am I getting? Am I getting enough protein? Am I overdoing my saturated fat? I'll actually give you the top 10 lists of foods in each category. So what's contributing the most to your calories, what's contributing your most to carbs, to your fruits and vegetables, to whole grains, anything fruit or anything nutrient related. Amazing. Any other questions for today? How many of you are interested in signing up or upgrading your membership? Douglas, yes, amazing. Yeah, think about your system. All of you guys, think about your system and what is that friction right now? The friction piece of it. Headed to the gym now. Yes, Vince. And how can you make your life easier? Martin, you would go to your home gym and sign up there. That's how you would sign up. It's part of the Premium Plus membership. And from what I recall, the Premium Plus membership is $39 a month. That also includes HIT Plus classes, and it includes on-demand access where appropriate at not at all locations. If they do have it at that location, that's available. So it's $39 a month. You not only get EatLove, but you also get HIT Plus and on-demand classes where available. Are there hands-on cooking classes? I do not believe so, but that's a great call that we could probably host in here. We could probably do that. If there's any other ways of education or any type of tools that you guys would find helpful, I do these most every 2 weeks on Wednesdays. And if we wanted to turn one of those into a cooking demo, we absolutely could. So if that's a request of yours, yeah, we can definitely do that. I can relay that message. Lizeth, recommend for people with GERD and acid reflux problems. Yep. So the biggest thing that I've seen, I've coached hundreds of clients separate from this. And when you change your diet and focus on the addition, GERD and acid reflux are two things that have naturally reduced by just getting more fruits and vegetables, whole grains, beans, legumes, basically a Mediterranean eating pattern. Some of my clients have had incredible success with this, where they can't not take their GERD medication in the day, to the point 3 weeks later, they're forgetting about it. And they said that would never happen ever in the past. So I would take a look at what your current diet looks like right now and see where some of the foods in here, not just, in here we talked about beans, legumes, fruits or vegetables, nuts and seeds. Take a peek at some of those, and that'll make a huge difference. But you'll want to keep things that are low, or like coffees and mint, those types of foods. Spicy foods are going to aggravate GERD. So if you're doing a lot of those, reducing that. I'm not sure, Celeste. I can definitely check. That would be cool. Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, I will let you all go for today. Thank you all for staying on. I kept you a little bit over today. And if you are interested in signing up for EatLove, talk to your home gym about upgrading to your Premium Plus membership. This recording will be sent to you guys in an email and also uploaded to the UFIT YouTube channel. But I'll let you guys go. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and I will talk to you soon.